What's up, Heat fans? Ernest here again with another Miami Heat Talk video. Before we get rocking and rolling on another Miami Heat Talk adventure, you guys, take a moment, hit the like button. You guys know to subscribe. We're almost at that 2K mark, so we definitely need to get there together, you guys. So I got something exciting to talk about today. No real big rumors or anything like that. As we know, the Miami Heat have started training camp. We got preseason coming up next week. So right now, Miami Heat's just trying to figure out this roster. Now, if you want a complete breakdown of this current roster and how we're looking, you guys can go ahead and watch the last two videos that I posted. 2 videos ago, I gave you a complete breakdown of what this team looks like. The video I posted yesterday was more about the new additions that we've added to this team. Today's video, we're going to talk about the man whose jersey I'm rocking right now. A man that everyone in South Florida here loves. Kyle Lowry. He said sarcastically. Look, you guys, I'm not going to do a poll about what you guys feel on Kyle Lowry. I've heard it. You know, for the last few months, we've talked about Kyle Lowry. A lot of you have put your thoughts in the comments, and the majority of you feel the same. A lot of people don't want Kyle Lowry on this team. They feel that basically his best years are behind him. We gave him a 3-year, $85 million contract, thinking that we were going to get that 2019 Kyle Lowry. We got it the first year. Last year wasn't as big, so I know a lot of Miami Heat fans are basically calling for Kyle Lowry's head. Yesterday, the first day of training camp, well, let's backtrack a little bit. Monday on Media Day, 2 days ago, the NBA World Miami Heat Twitter exploded because all 21 players did attend Media Day. Kyle Lowry, though, was the only player who chose not to speak with the media. Everybody had their reasons why. People didn't understand what was going on. But it's not like Kyle Lowry was upset. You know, he was joking around with players. He was joking around with, people and staff. It just felt like Kyle Lowry just didn't want to deal with the media. I wouldn't be surprised. Why? Remember what happened after the 2022 season when Pat Riley questioned Kyle Lowry about his weight issues. I think ever since then, that relationship hasn't really been the best between Pat Riley and Kyle Lowry. You've seen Kyle Lowry kind of take a dip in his play. But one thing that Kyle Lowry did mention in training camp yesterday was that he expects to be the starting point guard for this team. Now, Erik Spoelstra was non-committal on who was going to start this team as point guard. Even Heat players, nobody really knew. Nobody, besides Kyle Lowry, nobody from Spo, Jimmy, Bam, Tyler, Josh Richardson, everybody that was asked the question, nobody sat there and said, Kyle Lowry is our point guard. That's what we're going with. Everybody was non-committal, which tells me that the Miami Heat aren't fully confident with starting Kyle Lowry as their point guard. As we've known, Kyle Lowry's been in several trade talks. He was one of the main focuses in the Damian Lillard trade talk all offseason. After Damian Lillard was traded to Milwaukee, there was also another rumor that leaked out that the Miami Heat did offer Portland 2 first-round draft picks and Kyle Lowry for Jrue Holiday. We know that didn't happen. We know Jrue Holiday went to Boston. So hearing your name in trade talks all the time, being dealt to multiple teams, I think that it makes Kyle Lowry, at this point, whatever. I don't think he's upset or happy about it. He's 37 going on 38, making almost $30 million. When you're making $30 million in 1 year, it really takes a lot to make you mad, in my opinion. I don't think Kyle Lowry cares. He's playing with the Miami Heat. He's in great weather. He's getting paid a lot of money to play basketball. I don't really think at that point it gets really frustrating. Now, I mean, it does affect you a little bit when you don't feel wanted by a team. But when you go back to what I said earlier, a lot of Miami Heat fans are kind of disappointed with Kyle Lowry. We traded for Kyle Lowry thinking that he was going to be that guy that takes us to the next level. Now, I will say this, you guys. For a lot of people that are throwing shade and burying Kyle Lowry, I think otherwise. I think Kyle Lowry came to this team and brought a different type of winning mindset. Remember, before we traded for Kyle Lowry, we were bounced in the first round from Milwaukee, never having a true point guard besides Goran Dragic. When we traded for Kyle Lowry, what was the big talk? QB1, quarterback 1. And guys, Kyle Lowry's first season here was a success. He averaged 14 points a game, 7 assists, and he drew more charges than any player in the NBA. Kyle Lowry actually drew more charges than half of the NBA teams. 12 people did not take as much charges as Kyle Lowry in the 2022 season. That first season was a huge success. Now, yeah, Kyle Lowry did get injured in the playoffs. He wasn't a big factor in the Eastern Conference Finals. I get that. But that happens. Now, last year was when Kyle Lowry took a huge hit. His play diminished, his scoring averages dropped, and he lost his starting position to Gabe Vincent. But one thing I will say about Kyle Lowry, he took it on the chin. He didn't make drama. He didn't complain. He mentored Gabe Vincent. He allowed him to take that starting spot. Kyle Lowry's a winner. Kyle Lowry's an ultimate team player. I don't know if you guys saw it yesterday on Instagram when he was working with Jaime Jaquez on the post. That's what he does. He elevates players. Now that we've lost Udonis Haslem, that he's retired, you have guys like Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love to mold and help these younger players. That is a big reason why I like Kyle Lowry on this team. Now, look, I know I've said it in the past. I don't believe Kyle Lowry should be the starting point guard. I think Kyle Lowry fits perfectly what he did in the playoffs. Coming off the bench against the second unit. Right now, Kyle Lowry at 37 years old is going to have to play a lot of small, quick point guards in the NBA if he starts. It's going to be an issue. He's going to need help defensively. I prefer Josh Richardson out there. He's 7 years younger. He's 6 inches taller. It's going to make more sense in my opinion. But I'll be honest with you guys. I wouldn't be surprised if starting the season, Kyle Lowry is the starting point guard. For everything that I just said between Kyle Lowry and Pat Riley, that's Kyle Lowry and the front office. Two people that have a great relationship is Kyle Lowry and Coach Spo. Eric Spoelstra trusts Kyle Lowry. When Eric Spoelstra puts Kyle Lowry on there, he knows he's not going to have an issue. He knows that it's basically himself on that floor. Kyle Lowry thinks a lot like Eric Spoelstra. So I have a strong feeling, you guys, and a strong inclination that starting the season, we will see Kyle Lowry as a starting point guard. Now, that may change over time, but we have to come to the realization that this may be the case. I don't think that's where we should go, but I'm not the Miami Heat coach. So with all this said, you guys, I want to hear from you. How are you disappointed? What do you believe? What do you feel about Kyle Lowry's stance? Now, I will say this. Kyle Lowry does look in a lot better shape than he has being with this Miami Heat team ever. You look at him out there, he does look like he's a little bit springer. He does look a little bit better, but that's not the question. You know, this is the same thing last year when Kyle Lowry was posting pictures on his workout and people were like, oh, Kyle Lowry's getting in better shape. He probably listened to Pat Riley. My issue is not October with Kyle Lowry. My issue is January, February. When it comes to the middle of the season and the grind is hitting, can we count on Kyle Lowry? Kyle Lowry is making $29 million on an expiring contract. Kyle Lowry is the biggest focal point on a possible trade during the season. We know it, the Heat know it, and Kyle Lowry knows it. That's why I said yesterday, and that's why I said in a lot of the comments with the people, that this is a marriage that will end in a divorce. I don't think Kyle Lowry is going to stay with this team throughout the year. Now, there's a chance it may happen because there's a chance that Miami may feel like we're not getting enough value back for Kyle Lowry, and it's better for us to keep him going through the playoff run. Because as I'm sure a lot of you remember, during the playoffs, Kyle Lowry had some big games coming off the bench. You need a guy like Kyle Lowry to help you win a championship. He's veteran, he's experienced, he knows how to win. Doesn't matter if he's still that 2019 Kyle Lowry. He may not have it in his body, but he has it here. So, I believe that the Miami Heat, yes, should trade Kyle Lowry to another team, but only if the trade makes sense. For example, if Philadelphia is willing to trade James Harden to the Miami Heat for a package that surrounds Kyle Lowry with a future first-round draft pick, I would be okay with that. Now, before you guys castrate me and call me crazy, listen. James Harden as a starting point guard will bring more value than Kyle Lowry. James Harden led the NBA in assists last year. James Harden is still a scoring threat, and James Harden is on the final year of a contract. His contract is expiring just like Kyle Lowry. This could be a situation similar to Kawhi Leonard. We trade for James Harden for a 1-year rental, see how it works. I think James Harden would be a better fit than Kyle Lowry. But you guys, that is just an idea. You saw that the Miami Heat couldn't get Drew Holiday for Kyle Lowry and 2 first-round draft picks. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult trading for Kyle Lowry. I thought Portland was a good fit because expiring contract, young players, makes a lot of sense. Maybe Miami can wiggle a trade to the Clippers or the Thunder. Maybe. But is the return going to be worth it? Kyle Lowry is still a guy that can, on any given night, can give you 10 to 15 points, 5 to 10 assists, hit a few three-pointers, and defensively shut people down. Kyle Lowry's a menace on the defensive end. You saw what Gabe Vincent learned from Kyle Lowry. I think Kyle Lowry still brings value. What do you guys think? Are you completely turned off by Kyle Lowry? Is it time to get rid of him 100%? And if you want to get rid of Kyle Lowry, what do you think is a good package? Because remember, he's making $30 million and he's expiring. It's still value. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please, guys, don't forget to take a moment to hit the like button, subscribe, help your boy out get there. As soon as there's any other updates that come up, I'll definitely let you guys know. Thank you so much for the love and support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go, Heat.